And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Vintage Story. And as promised, we're going to cover cheese making. As you can see, I've played this whole game now, and I've not had any dairy nutrition at all. And my poor guy is probably lactose intolerant at this point because he's never been exposed to dairy. So I want to cover how to make cheese. And in this process, requires a lot of milk, as you can imagine, and as I explained last episode, it takes a while to get your ewes as a high enough generation and allows you to milk them regularly to get the milk. So when you milk an ewe, if it's successful, you get a full bucket, which is 10 liters of milk per milking operation. So if you want a lot of milk, you're going to need a lot of high generation ewes run around, and you're going to need to keep them pregnant almost constantly in order for that to happen. But once you get enough milk in your buckets and you start putting it in barrels, then you can start doing the cheese making process, and it's relatively straightforward. You get milk portions, right? So you get milk portions when you do that. Now imagine that's 5 buckets of milk, and I cheated it in all this stuff. So I warned you last episode this was going to happen, and yes, I want to cover this. So first thing you do is you want either 25 or 50 liters of milk. So there's your milk portion. And you remember those pickled vegetables we made a while back? Yes, pickled vegetables uses brine plus vegetables, and you can make pickled vegetables. So 2 pickled vegetables in a full bucket will lead you 50 liters of curdled milk after 3 days. So you seal that, just like this one has been sealed, only for 3 hours. And that... Once that's done, it'll make curdled milk, right? So this is curdled milk. And what you do, for every 10 liters, you add 5 salt, and it will turn into cottage cheese after 24 hours of sealing. So that one doesn't take that long. And once you have cottage cheese, there it is, you can, if you want, eat the cottage cheese for dairy. I am not sure what the nutrition values are. It doesn't actually tell you what the nutrition values are. But what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a few pieces of linen and some sticks. Right? This is kind of an interesting process. You use the linen to scoop out what is going on? There we go. Shift right click, right? Shift right click. And you can do 2 of these, right? So you put 2 of these on the ground. That is a curd bundle. You put a stick in each one of them, and you squeeze out the curds. Squeeze. Actually, you're squeezing out the whey, right? Bingo. 2 curd bundles. And then what you want to do is you want to add some salt to each one of those. And now you have raw cheese, right? But raw cheese, you do not want to carry around with you at all times. You want to put those into a place, right? And it starts ripening. Suitable spot for food ripening. Hearty cheese, fresh for 1.6 years, because that's the food perish timer on the world gen. And you can see 19.4 days left to ripen. That will ripen into cheddar cheese. If you want the other kind of cheese, it's much different. Much different. You are going to want a very special thing. We need a shelf, and I need just 4 boards. That's pretty straightforward. So the other way to do it is you need to be in a more northern climate, so we're fine with that. But you need a room that is dark, right? It needs to have no natural sunlight, so you need to be far enough away for the sunlight to be down. You need there's some olivine, all right? And on top of that, you need an open air. You need not to have sealed it in. And if you're right, 23 days left to ripen, right? If you're right about it, let's take our lamp off, right? You can see the natural light comes in about 20 blocks. It's about 20. And then it's pitch black back here. There's no natural light coming in. And that is what you want. You want no natural light. That will ripen into blue cheese. Blue cheese. Bingo. And with my mods that I have, I made blue cheese like really, really good because it's a pain to make. But if at any time if you break a hole in the ceiling and suddenly sunlight comes in, it will completely ruin your ripening speed. And so, yeah, that will take 23 days. And remember, my months in this game are 6 days. So that is almost 3 months of time to let that ripen. Now, the other cheese, remember, it was a little over 19 days to ripen. So that's still, crazy amounts. Hey, you get the linen back? Nice. Oh, I don't even know what the best tool. All right, you get the linen back. I don't even know. Why do I have a bunch of andesite? Oh, I know why. Put the linen back. And so, yeah, you can make yourself a bunch of cheese. So let me process. That's curdled milk, and you need 5 salt. Then I have cottage cheese, which actually I need. The cottage cheese is the good stuff. I gave myself some portion of each one of those. So shift, and we'll do this one more time. So you just right click, it'll squeeze, and then once it stops, and then you can let go or right click. So then we add some more salt. I need some more salt. Salt. And what you can do is you can actually wax cheddar cheese. Ingredient 4, cheese waxed. So it's a little less. If you're in a world that food perish timers are kind of bad, you can add beeswax. It'll wax it, right? And I think it impacts a little bit of the nutrition value when you wax it, but otherwise it's the same process. And we're gonna put this over here. And good to go. So it's going to take a long time. And you don't want to put a door on this. Don't put a door. Remember, you have to keep at least a single block of open air in order for these to work. And because the timers are different, I'm going to call that good. If the timer was the same as the cheese in our cellar, then it would turn into the cheddar cheese in our cellar. But the timer is different, so fingers are crossed. Fingers are crossed that we're going to be good to go there. And you could absolutely put that underground. I could have a cellar underground, but remember, you need a block open to the open air, and it needs to be such that an animal isn't going to get into your cellar and start eating all your food. But yeah, that is cheese making in a nutshell. Not sure what else to cover in the game. I'm pretty out of new things. Yeah, not a whole lot of new stuff. There is a new version of the game right now in pre-release. It hasn't gone into release candidate yet. So I haven't covered it. I haven't updated any of my mods, and most mod authors are waiting for at least a release candidate for it to be more stable to do that. So yeah, there's some waiting to be done, but as soon as there's an RC candidate, which is redundant, yeah, as soon as there's an RC release, I'll probably go through and update my mods, because there's a few scripting changes that I'm going to need. So any of the mods that have code is going to be updated. I think my just basic JSON mods, which is like ores aplenty and rock blocks and quartz blocks, those should all be fine. Those should work just fine. But yeah, I'm hoping you guys enjoyed the series, and I'm hoping you guys enjoyed the game. The game is awesome and deserves much more accolades and attention than it's getting right now. I've been trying to encourage, Minecraft mod teams to make the conversion and basically, port their games to Vintage Story, but most are not wanting to do that unless you paid them an exorbitant amount of money. And hey, if I was a super wealthy, crazy person, I would absolutely toss them a few grand to update their mods or to port their mods. I would love to see a wide selection of really high level mods for this game. I think it would be absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, I don't have the wherewithal to code enormous mods alone. But anyway, yeah, I'm hoping everybody had some fun. So looking forward to seeing you on the next series, whatever that might be. And that's going to do it for the episode. And I thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the series. One little thing. Normally I have world downloads when I finish a series. But the worlds in this game are enormous. They're the world size, and for the world that I have here, and as much as I have explored, all these chunks that I've explored, the world is approaching 2 gigs. So it is huge. It is a huge world. And yeah, not something that I can upload to anywhere easily. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself, and I will see you next time.